it all comes back to cannabis culture, the lifestyle side of the industry, the legacy side of the industry. A lot of folks on the business side tend to shy away from, at least on the surface. As 2021 approaches us, where do you see the legacy side of the market? Where do you see the lifestyle side of the game? And how do you see NatureTrak being involved?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that. It's something that we talk at our company internally about all the time. We spoke about, risk mitigation and having technology and helping, cannabis operators get banked. But there's a bigger mission at this, being, a person of color and coming from, a situations where, cannabis was, the devil for most of it. If you were part of that, you were looked down upon within your group, just within society at a whole. The whole war on drugs. And what we're trying to do is it's legitimacy, and how legitimacy ties to the culture is that it changes the face. If hip hop or Snoop's obviously huge in this. I think we've seen articles now with Jay-Z and their just recent move with Khalifa and the other group and stuff that's going on. The culture is going to be what I would say legit. I wouldn't say legitimize, but it's almost like past sins will be forgiven. Everybody's going to have to look at what we were doing as a society, what we were doing as a country as it related to cannabis. And what we have to do as caretakers, you, myself, with NatureTrak, is that we can't lose sight of where we've come from. And that has to be built into the fabric of our companies and what we're doing. Here we are standing as people of color, being able to move this industry forward. And that there, cements the legacy. It cements the culture. We're, at the end of the day, we are doing it for the culture, because when people see us, they see the culture. Regardless if we're in technology, if we're in, content, entertainment, etc. And so as a caretaker, as a steward of that, it's really important that, it's something you think about and stuff, especially as we go into 2021. Again, we spoke about how this pandemic affected. How did we get through this? How does social equity play into this side, right? There's the financial resources have been, tapped out to certain extents, although we see huge news. Weed Maps is going up, and now LeafLink, LeafLink has there. So there's money that's moving, and that's helping the culture. Again, the Jay-Z move. But how do we play in that role to make sure that the culture is there in the next 5, the next 10, the next 20 years? There's going to be big bucks. There's going to be a lot of money that's thrown at this. We've seen it since the legalization in California and how that goes. And there's been a lot of people working tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that people of color or people of diversity are able to participate. And those efforts are not going without being said. But it's still our job as the culture to stand out and be the leaders and be able to move this and sit in the rooms and help make those decisions and, be there as the one to help legitimize cannabis banking, right? Our culture is legitimizing cannabis banking. You thought we were doing something wrong. No, well, I stand here and NatureTrak stands here to say that, hey, here's the transparency of what's going on. We don't mind opening up our doors. We don't mind opening up our books. This is what we were doing at one time to survive. Now we're doing it right now to thrive in this new industry.